Our individual right to keep and bear arms is hanging in the balance. Hello, I'm Jennifer Zahrn with this week's News Minute from the NRA Institute for Legislative Action. With Justice Scalia's tragic passing, there's no longer a majority of support among the justices for our individual right to own a firearm for self-defense. 4 justices believe law-abiding Americans have that right, and 4 justices do not. President Obama has nothing but contempt for the Second Amendment and law-abiding gun owners. He has already nominated 2 Supreme Court justices who oppose the individual right to keep and bear arms, and there is absolutely no reason to believe he has changed his approach now. The judicial record of Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland, shows that he does not respect our fundamental individual right to keep and bear arms. The NRA strongly opposes the nomination of Merrick Garland to the highest court of the land. In Minnesota, the NRA is asking its members and supporters to speak out against a newly introduced bill that would criminalize the everyday acts of law-abiding gun owners. Senate File 2493 would expand background checks to all sales and transfers of firearms in the state of Minnesota, with limited and narrow exceptions. Under this bill, a firearms safety instructor holding class outside of a shooting range could not transfer a firearm to a student to demonstrate its safe use. A person borrowing a firearm while hunting could not take the gun home for cleaning before returning it. Finally, a person could not share his or her firearms with a cousin or neighbor, no matter how close their relationship. This legislation will do nothing to prevent criminals from obtaining firearms and will only burden the law-abiding. If you're a Minnesota resident, please contact your state senator and representative to express politely your opposition to Senate File 2493. Finally, in this week's Armed Citizen Report, residents of a St. Paul, Minnesota neighborhood say they're fed up with crime, and they point to a recent assault of a neighbor as the last straw. Local media reports say Bruce Chang was attacked by a group of young men who were gambling on his driveway and blocking his access as he returned home from work. Chang, who has a permit to carry, cannot take his pistol to his workplace. He was therefore without it when he pulled into his driveway. What the attackers didn't know was that Chang's wife was home and was armed. When she emerged with her firearm, her husband's attackers ran off. Neighbors say police can only do so much to deter crime. I'm Jennifer Zahrn, and I'll see you again next time with a News Minute from the NRA Institute for Legislative Action.